2 minutes to official time. One minute, 30 seconds. One minute. Thirty seconds. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official time. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 minutes to official time. 1 minute, 30 seconds. One minute. 30 seconds. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official time.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Hey, hey. Testing, testing, testing.
20. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Start cancel.
Okay, there we go. We are on. I have my audio. Let's go. My name is Brandon Reed. I am a freediving instructor and a breath training coach, and I'm here at the 28th AIDA World Championships in Burgas, Bulgaria, commenting all the action for you guys today with our dynamic day. Dynamic, for those who don't know, is using a special kind of fin called a monofin. The monofin keeps your legs together and you give big kicks using both legs at the same time rather than using one at a time as you would with bifins. We are in our first heat. Lulu of Chinese Taipei did not start this morning, which is A-OK. There we see Daichi Sujitani of Japan, looking nice and fresh. In lane B, we have Thomas Johnson of Sweden, lane C, Jean Turcois of France, lane D, Evelina Mavasinskaite of Lithuania, Georgina Miller in lane E of the UK. Thomas coming up on 200 meters. Daichi getting past his personal best of 150 to around 180 about. So congratulations to him. You see our divers starting to pop up. We're also looking at sorry, everyone's popping up very quickly now. There we have Thomas. There's Georgina at around 150, I believe. There's Jean. Sorry, no, that's Tomas. Getting around, I believe, 245. Looking like. Okay, there we can see a good view of the monofin. As we said, the monofin basically lashes the 2 feet together. And as such, you can actually create more power from the kick than you would with bifins. Okay, while we are hearing about who's going next, let's take a moment to say that the current world records in this discipline, dynamic, are set by, for the men, Matt Molina at 300 meters, and for the women, 277 by Magdalena Solich-Talanda, both of Poland. As results come in, I'll let you guys know what they are. Again, as we've said numerous times across this competition, these results are not official yet. They are the preliminary results. We're waiting first for the end of the day, so all athletes have completed their dives. Then the judges will review all of the footage. We'll review, make sure everything is okay and looking good, and then we'll give preliminary results. Then the athletes will have an opportunity to challenge any of those results if they like. The challenge process will happen, and then a final list of results will come out after that. From the last heat, we have Thomas Johnson, 246, white card. Jean Turcois, 200, white card. Evelina, 187, white card. Georgina Miller, 150, white card. Daichi Sujitani, 114, and white card. Very nice. Okay, looking at Linus card marker now. We can go to lane A, where we have David Mellor getting ready. David Mellor of the UK has a PB in this discipline of 150 and is going for a new PB today. Linus Carnmaker. Lane B, Jared Briffa in lane C, but we're looking now at Carlo Gribben of Sweden in lane D with a personal best of 200 meters and is aiming to beat that today as well. And then in lane E, we have Dejan Dojcev of Bulgaria. And then finally in lane B, we have Valdemar Karlsson who won first place in static yesterday with a time of 8:58. Yes, he held his breath for nearly 9 minutes and came up clean. Please feel free to spam your support of our athletes in the chat. Spam those flags. Send them your love and support.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Always a good time. We see all of our divers sitting completely quiet, preparing in their own ways for this dive.
1 minute.
As we've said before, some divers will do something called a body scan, where they try and release any tension they have in their body right before a dive. Others will try and visualize the dive itself, seeing themselves moving effortlessly through the water. Others will try and just clear their minds completely. Each diver is different, and each one has their own own styles that they like to follow.
30 seconds.
In the far lane, we see Valdemar packing. Packing is an advanced technique freedivers use to add more air into their lungs, which over the course of a dive can mean a bit more oxygen for them to use on the dive.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And we're off. You can take take a little look at our technique here. For monofin, it is best if the arms are straight above the head. The body is nice and flat, nice and straight, and the movement starts in the abs, not in the hips. Part of the reason why we put our hands above our heads is to actually change our center of gravity. Or your pivot point, excuse me. If you put your hands above your head, the pivot point is at the abdominals. That's the point where if you bend in half, that's that pivot point. If you put your arms down your sides, that pivot point is at your hips. Now, we want to be moving that pivot point closer to our abdominals because we can think of this as like a whip. The power starts at the abdominals, moves down the thighs, moves down the calves, into the ankles, and then finally even a little kick with the toes. If you have your arms at your sides and you're only kicking from your legs, you are missing out on that power generation from your abdominals. And again, over the course of a dive, you are actually better off generating power starting from your abs. Let's see. So we have, I believe, DYN is up. Looking good. We're coming up on 200 meters for Carlo. Also for Jared. Current national record for Australia is set at 223 meters. Jared off the wall. Carlo also up. Jared is up. Whoop. His airways are dipping a little bit below the water. So unfortunately that will be a red card for Jared. Ugh. So close. So close. Other divers up. Saw David a few moments ago. I believe he was able to keep his airways above the water. One of the things that we're looking at in order to give a diver a white card, which is a completed dive without any penalties, is for their airways to stay above the water and for them to complete their surface protocol correctly. Surface protocol for this event is removing your facial equipment, giving an okay sign, and verbally saying "I'm okay" to the judges. In the event that a diver does not complete the surface protocol correctly, either out of order or just not completing it, or their airways dip below the surface, that is a red card, which means the diver did not complete the dive satisfactorily and they receive no points for it. A diver can also receive a yellow card, which means the diver did complete the dive, but there are penalties applied. Usually that would mean, it depends on each discipline. For dynamic, you would see a penalty applied if a diver does not dive below the 1 meter mark, or before the 1 meter mark. If you look very, very closely, there's a thin line right at the wall, and a diver needs to submerge themselves before that 1 meter mark. If they don't do that, that would be a penalty. If they touch the bottom, that is a penalty. If they start before the official top begins and put their airways down and begin, that's a penalty. Although we very, very rarely see that. And if a diver gets a white card, that means everything was good, no penalties were applied. End of statement. So, from the last group. Let me quickly take a look here. Okay, the results are still coming in. Okay, as we go down the list, we have Kateryna Sadurska of Poland, has a personal best of 250 meters in this discipline. In lane B, we have Daniel Edrev of Bulgaria, who holds the current national record for Bulgaria in this discipline. Has the record set at 207. W's, yes, unfortunately, we are only in the right channel. Sorry about that. I've been told that the audio guys are only in the left channel, so we're working on it. Lane C, Sayaka Oi of Japan has a personal best of 189 and wants to say hello to her daughters, who will be 1 and 3 next month. In lane D, we have Jacek Polak of Poland. Getting ready there. In lane E, we have Mai Morimura of Japan. And then finally, in Group 3, we have Aulina Kutas of Moldova. W's, nope, your earphones are fine, probably. I don't know for sure, but if it's only the audio for me, then that's what it is. Green My World, yeah, I'm aware of the issue with the logo. We're trying to get it fixed, so it's a little bit smaller.
One minute.
One minute until we begin. Results from last heat are slowly being updated, Reno. You can check them all out on the AIDA International website. Okay. So as we see our divers, some of them are giving a few kicks and gliding. Others are giving one kick and gliding. Diver has the opportunity to decide how they would like to do their dive. Some divers find it more relaxing to give a few kicks and then relax. Others opt for a stronger kick and then a glide. It's a bit up to personal preference for each diver to decide what they like to do. Let's see, so we have in lane D, Kozerska coming on 100 meters. Danail coming up at 100. Something to note is as the dive goes on, lactic acid is building up in our diver's legs. Looks like we're going to be having, let's see, Kozerska is coming up on almost up to 200 meters. He's up now. Looking good and fresh. So that's around 185 meters. These divers have lactic acid building up in their legs. And so diving like this often feels like you've run a marathon and you have to keep going. There we see Alina up. We just had Carol across the 200-meter mark. Carol, one of our divers who prefers to go a bit more slowly. Mai also up at around 200 meters. It's up to each diver again to decide how they want to do their dive. Some divers prefer to go a bit more quickly, and others are very happy to have a very slow and long dive where the relaxation is a priority. Okay. Carol is up at around... Ooh, I don't know if he did a turn or not. But he's up, looking good. At around... either around 248 or 252-ish. So we'll see what is going on.
Next start, lane A, Monofin, Eleventh. Lane B, Magdalena Solich-Talanda of Poland. Lane C, Twelfth, Finland. Lane D, Eleventh, Spain. Lane E, Thirteenth, Sweden. Lane F, Poland.
Okay, we're still waiting on some results from the last heat and the heat before this last one. Again, all results can be found on the AIDA website. We'll post a link shortly that we'll pin in the chat. There we see Kimmo Hovi of Finland. He's here representing Kupla, his underwater rugby and technical diving club. Excited and ready to compete. In lane B, we have Marika Konola Tuominen. Excuse me. Sorry, Marika. Has a personal best of 216 and enjoys dynamic, but her favorite discipline now is dynamic no fins. Lane C, we have Idis Alaola of Finland, 3 fins in a row. She took 4th place in static for women yesterday with a 6-minute and 45-second breath hold. And is here representing Naiads, her underwater rugby club. There she is in the purple cap. In lane D, we have Lorena Pietro Cacabelos of Spain. Recently did 113 meters in dynamic at the Spanish Nationals, and credits Alice Hickson with a lot of her prep for this competition. Lane F, we have Henrik Johansson of Sweden. And then finally, in lane F, Tomasz Werte of Poland.
2 minutes to official time.
I met Tomasz at the AIDA Depth World Championship in Cyprus last year, and he is a super goofy guy, always joking, always laughing. Super fun person to hang out with.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Okay, let's go back and see the previous 2 heats results.
1 minute.
David Mellor, Great Britain, 156, white card. Linus Carnmaker, 150, white card. Jared Briffa, 217, red card due to airways dipping, unfortunately. Carlo Gribben, 208, white card. Dejan Dojchev, 127, white card. Valdemar Carlson, 150, white card. Carol Karch, 245, white card. Daniel Edrev, 100 meters, white card. Sayaki Oi, 184 meters, white card. Jacek Polak, 189, white card. Mai Morimura, 200 meters, white card. Aulina Kutas, 150, white card.
10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official time. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We see Tomasz, and we also see, I believe that's Lorena, both using bifins during this discipline. Divers are allowed to do that. Dynamic discipline allows for you to use either bifins or monofin. Again, as I said earlier, only the dynamic bifins discipline requires you to specifically use bifins. There are many reasons why a diver would use bifins over a monofin. One of them being access to the gear. A monofin can be pretty expensive. And you don't usually use a monofin for fun diving. Usually. I know a few people who do. Coming up on 100 meters is Iris. Marika, and also Iris is up at 105. Nice and strong. What a beast. Yes, Lisa, 245 meters for Carol. So as I was saying, yeah, divers can just decide sometimes they want to use bifins for this discipline. It's what they have access to. Sometimes they get to a comp, they want to dive again. Today being the last day. Some divers just want to dive. There we see Kimmo up. Marika also up. Kimmo at around 245. Marika at around 230. We also see Lorena up. Tomasz up. And Henrik also up. Okay. There we have it. Looks to be all white cards. We will see momentarily what the results are. As we go along, I'm going to try and keep it sort of updated ranking of who is in first place for each discipline.
Next out, lane A, Magdalena Solich-Talanda of Poland. Lane B, United Kingdom. Lane C, Kozerska, Germany. Lane D, Kateryna Sadurska, Serbia. Lane E, Ukraine, Poland. Lane F, Bulgaria.
Okay, in lane A, we have Miljan Kolčić of Serbia. He's going to try and do his first 100 dynamic today, so good luck to him for that. Lane B, we have Kate Goodwin of the United Kingdom with a personal best of 70 meters. Absolutely loves dynamic because the power is absolutely incredible, but it looks effortless. There she is, getting ready. Lane C, we have Klaus Kasten of Germany. His personal best is 225 meters in dynamic. The national record for Germany is currently set by Tom Siestas at 223 meters. So we may see a new German record coming up. Started competing 3 years ago and does a lot of cold exposure, like diving in frozen lakes without a wetsuit for some of his training, which is wild to me. And wants to thank his coach and girlfriend, Keike Schwertner, I believe, for her support, and she is also competing here today. Lane D was going to be Gina Parazenovic, but unfortunately, due to not being cleared by medical, she will not be competing today. But we do have Ibrahim Al-Salatni of Oman, who we just saw there. And then in the final lane, we have Boris Georgiev of Bulgaria, preparing and getting ready. Okay, let's check the results from the previous heat. Okay.
6 minutes to official top.
Kimo Hovi, 139 meters, white card. Marika Konola Tuominen. Sorry, Marika. 130 meters, white card. Is Alice Ola, 103 meters, white card. Lorena Pietro Cacabelos, 142 meters, white card. Henrik Johansson, 154, white card. Tomasz Huerte, 150, white card.
One minute.
Thank you, Philometa. That's very nice of you to say. Very quickly, I have some preliminary standings, just based on the preliminary results that we do have. So in third place for men, we have Carlo Gribin of... Ooh, where is Carlo from?
30 seconds.
Of Sweden. 208. Karl Karch, 245. And Thomas Johnson, 246. So that is third through first for men. For women, we have Sayaka Oi of Japan, 184. Evelina Novaskinskajste of
2, 1. Official top. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Lithuania,
7,
excuse me,
8.
187 silver. And Mai Morimura of Japan, 200 meters, currently in first. Thanks, Sasha. Whipping fan, they start when the official top reaches 0. They are allowed to start after that, and they have 30 seconds to begin once the official top has been reached. So that way they are not rushed. They can take their final breath on their own time. And in this discipline, time is not important. What matters most is distance. And so a diver can complete a 100-meter dive in 1 minute, or they can complete a 100-meter dive in 10 minutes. It does not matter. What matters is that final distance that they covered. Okay, we have Emilian up. Coming up at around 75. Our first divers reaching the 100-meter mark. We have Kate Goodwin reaching the wall first. Something that we're looking for in our divers' technique generally is smaller kicks. We don't want to have massive, massive kicks where there's a big flow in the body, because if that is happening, for example, we might see later some divers with their arms moving up and down quite a bit in front of them. The more movement that we have moving at the front of the body, that is more movement that is not being saved for our legs. And so really what we want to do is keep the top of the body completely straight and flat and not moving, or with very, very little movement. Kate Goodwin is up there at around 160. We want to keep the top of the body very still while the, starting at the abs, that movement continues down the body. We also want to see that movement generally be smaller in order to stay within the water vortex. As our arms in front of us break the water that is standing, that creates drag. but as we break that water, it sort of swirls around our body. Like if you've ever seen those airplane wings where they put smoke in the air and then they blow it across an airplane's wing, that's sort of what we're doing. We create a little bit of a vortex around the wing. Ooh, we have Klaus up, keeping his airways above the water. Ooh. Whoa. That's going to be very close and probably going to be a red card, if not a review. For sure a review. So, as I was saying, we want to try and keep our movements within that water vortex because that water is already disturbed. If we come out of that water vortex, which is a few centimeters around our body, if we come out of that vortex, we are then breaking fresh water, which is causing more drag. Which more drag means slowing down, which means we are losing out on energy conservation that we could have saved for a longer dive. Okay, our divers are all up. We'll take a moment and see where everyone is at. Okay. Slowly getting results. After I get all the results and let you guys know, we are going to have a brief break. The next official top will be in 25 minutes. While we're waiting for the results, take a quick moment to thank our event sponsors once again: the Burgas Municipality, Double K, Octopus, B Water Monofins, Acer, Sunto, Dive Tech, and Molchanovs. Big props to you guys. Thank you so much for your support. We really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, the results I have so far are as follows. Miljan Kolčić, 78 meters, white card. Kate Goodwin, 161 meters, white card. Still waiting on Klaus. We have Ibrahim Al-Salatni of Oman, 225 meters, white card, which I believe is a new national record for Oman. So congratulations there. And Boris Georgiev, 60 meters, white card. So we have Klaus, who completed a 228-meter dive, but unfortunately currently stands as a red card due to airways dipping below the surface. As we said, divers have an opportunity to challenge later on in the day, so I imagine he will take a look at the footage and decide if it is worth it to challenge or not. And then final results will be posted later on this evening on the website. I'm Brandon Reed. I will be back in about 20 minutes to take us through the next group of athletes. Who do we have coming up next? We have Namig Amzaza of Azerbaijan coming up. We have Paula Johansson of Sweden. We have... Ooh. We have Jeanette Molnar of Sweden. And we also have Marko Radovic, of Serbia. Stick around. We'll see you all soon. Cool. I'm going to go get some food.
Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K. Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. We are back. My name is Brandon Reed, freediving instructor, breath training coach, freediving commentator, commentating on the action at the 28th AIDA World Championships here in Burgas, Bulgaria, on our final day of the competition, which is Dynamic Day. Here we see our next group of athletes preparing, getting ready. In lane A, we have Bina Kang of Korea. Let me scooch my notes around here. Lane B, we have Bartosz Plonka of Poland. There we go, there he is. In lane C, we have Junate Hwang of Korea. Started diving 3 years ago and is a graduate student at the Department of Naval Architecture and Ocean Engineering and is graduating this summer. So congratulations to Junate. Big deal, for sure. In lane D, we have Borisova Dorotea of Bulgaria. Getting ready.
2 minutes to official time.
In lane E, we have Martin Parvanov. And in lane F, we have Namig Amzdazda. Amadzda. There we
1
go.
minute 30 seconds.
Of Azerbaijan. Okay.
One minute.
Okay, guys.
Divers are preparing,
30
relaxing,
seconds.
trying to reduce their heart rates as much as they can. Obviously, as divers begin their dives, they begin working their muscles and their hearts start pumping more. But if they can start from a lower number and a lower heart rate, that at this level of competition has the possibility of eking out a few more meters.
3, 2, 1. Official top plus 1, 2.
Official top, so divers now have 30 seconds to begin the dive
7.
before it counts as a did not start. Okay. There we see, I believe that is Bina. No, I'm sorry, that is not Bina. That is Namig doing the dolphin kick with bifins. He's allowed to do that as well. Turn off the wall at 50 meters. As we said before, it is optimal for athletes to try and keep themselves within that water vortex, which is a few centimeters around the body and is disturbed water that has already been disturbed once by the front of the body moving through it, and that disturbed water does not create much extra drag on the body. Whereas if we have really broad kicks or really large arm movements, that will create drag, which will slow us down, which will then mean we need to use more energy to continue our dive, which then means a shorter dive. And in this discipline of dynamic, we are looking for distance only. We're not looking at time that it takes to get somewhere. Okay, Namig is up at around, I believe, 75-ish. We'll have to see. Okay, we have Bartosz up. Oh, keep breathing. Looking okay. There I believe we have Bina of Korea. We have Junate also up. Bina being supported by the safeties. Okay, looks like all divers are up. Big shout out to the safety team supporting all of our athletes during this competition. They have been swimming back and forth non-stop, and they definitely have a tough job. One of the things that I've mentioned before is that as soon as a safety touches a diver, that diver receives a red card. And the safeties have a very difficult job of allowing the diver to continue for as long as they possibly can, while also trying to keep their safety top priority. I think we've done a pretty good job of that at this competition. Safety's working hard to support the athletes and dance that very fine line. So huge shout out to them. Okay, we are still waiting on some results to come in.
Next start, lane A, Nagasaki, Japan. Lane B, Aoyotsu, Sweden. Lane C, Aruna Yamashita, Japan. Lane D, Matsubanovsky, Poland. Lane E, Mohammed Al-Navy, Arab Emirates. Lane F, William Seaford, United Kingdom.
Okay, so from that last heat, we have been a gang 171 meters, red card due to airways dipping. Bartosz Plonka, 183 meters, white card. Junate Huang, 183, red card, airways dipping. Dorotea Borisova, 99 meters, red card, surface blackout, unfortunately. Martin Parvanov, 103 meters, yellow card, due to a pull. I'm not quite sure if the pull was, where the pull was, so we can maybe go back and take a look at that. And Namig Amadzda, there we go. last day of the comp, and I finally got it. 68 meters. And a white card, excuse me. Okay. Then we reset and do it again. In lane A, we have now Masaki of Japan. Has a personal best in this discipline of 159 meters. And says that age has nothing to do with pool freediving. You can still do an awesome job even in your 60s. And it's important to note he is 62. In lane B, we have Paula Johnson of Sweden. Started diving 3 years ago when she took a beginner course in Thailand. Has been hooked ever since. In lane C, we have Aruna Yamashita. There she is, getting ready. Lane D, we have Marcin Baranowski of Poland. Getting ready, nice and relaxed looking. In lane E, we have Mohammed Al-Jibeni of the United Arab Emirates, who currently holds records in both constant weight bifins, and dynamic, and static. He's been making his way through all the records here this week. And finally, we have William Seaford of the UK in lane F. You can see our main judges, David Meller looking at the camera. We see our main judges in the yellow shirts. We see our assistant judges in the white shirts. And then we see assistants to the assistants in the green shirts. Their jobs during this comp are to basically make sure that the rules are being adhered to, ensuring that the service protocol is completed, and all of that good stuff. Scuba Papa, that is a good question. Who is left to challenge Tomasz at 246 meters? I would say that we could probably expect some pretty big dives from Guillaume Bordila of France, William Joy of China, David Kustich has been doing has announced 200 meters. Clement Lesaffre of France also announced 207. But we will see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official top. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
The rankings are definitely not set yet. Okay. We can see in lane B, Paula is using a pair of bifins. Again, during dynamic just means swimming underwater. And as such, divers are allowed to either use a monofin or a bifin. It is completely up to them. See some nice technique here from our divers. Having a nice streamlined position, the arms above the head, sandwiching the ears between the biceps. Please feel free to spam your support in the chat. Show those flags, show that pride. We have Mohammed coming up on 100 meters, doing a nice easy turn. Others following suit. Aruna in lane C. Marcin, lane D. Now also completing 100 meters. Amber Burke is competing at 11:50, so in roughly 1 hour. Okay, William is up. His coach David reminding him to breathe, giving him all the instructions for the surface protocol. Okay. There we go. Mohammed is up. Aruna also up at around 130. Mohammed around 140. Sorry, no, 180 perhaps. Now is up, but being supported by the safety team. Alicia, that's nice of you to say. Thank you. I'm trying my best. If you guys have any questions, please do feel free to post them in the chat. As we're getting to the end of the competition, I'm getting a little tired. And so having questions to answer helps me keep my mind sharp. There's Paula, giving some strong recovery breaths. And looking good. Very nice. Any questions you guys have in the comments, please do feel free to post them. I believe it helps make the stream a bit more interesting, helps keep me focused, and especially in this hot pool, we're definitely getting to the end of the week. Hi, June. Good to see you. Lay the questions on me. What do you got? As you're writing your question, I will go over some of the results. Okay, so we have so far Marcin Baranowski, 208 meters, white card. Mohamed Al-Jibeni, 184 meters, white card, which I believe, yes, that is a new national record for United Arab Emirates. William Seaford, 148 meters, white card. We'll wait for the others as they come in. My favorite discipline is static. I personally haven't had much training in the pool in general. I've maybe done 12 pool sessions in my life my pool freediving life. But I've done well over 200 dry static sessions. And so most of my training has been done dry. So I just really haven't had a chance to do many pool disciplines. Static is obviously easier to do. But I also really enjoy free immersion for depth. So June says, when you squeeze your head with your arms, how do you relax through that? I've never really used the streamline position in the water during my dry training. There's a video called Effing Glottis. And in that position, I try that position. Very tough to keep the position, though. Is it natural? It is not natural. Many people do not even have the flexibility to put their hands above their heads, let alone clasp them, let alone also squeeze the ears between the biceps. Really quickly, let's go through the list of the athletes who are competing next, and then I can finish up answering that question for you. So, in lane A, we have Bartosz Lubecki of Poland. There he is, getting ready, being supported by one of his teammates. Lane B, we have Agata Wyczyn-Barelkowska of Poland. In lane C, we have Suompera. Miro Suompera, excuse me, had a bit of a mind blank there, of Finland. Yuriko Ichihara of Japan is in lane D. We have Janita Kolka of Finland in lane E. There she is with those sweet, sweet goggles. And then in lane F, we have Adam Drzazga of the UK. I believe he said he's planning on doing around 200. Although I could be remembering that wrong.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
The current AIDA World Records are set by Matt Molina at 300 meters, and for women, 227 by Magdalena Solich-Talanda. Magdalena is here. She's competing later on today, and Matt Molina is not here. He just came off of another big competition, so it's taking some time to relax.
1 minute.
Hi, Evening. Evening asked, what about Alexei Molchanov? Did he participate at all? AIDA follows the international, or the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, rules and regulations. And as they have banned all Russian athletes from competing, AIDA has as well. So Alexei is not competing, unfortunately. And June, to finish answering your question about squeezing your arms between your ears, it is not a natural position to leave your arms, but with practice, with stretching, what some divers are able to do is actually squeeze their arms even a little bit tighter and rest their arms and their biceps on the back of their head. In doing this, this allows the diver to actually relax the shoulders a little bit, which can actually be a bit more comfortable than holding the arms above the head for such a long period of time. And as we watch and continue to move ahead today, we may see some athletes actually doing that. But as I said, there's a lot of flexibility that's required in that. You can actually try doing this yourself at home by putting your arms above your head and trying to put one hand on top of the other like you see in this discipline. If you can do that, try moving your arms back even a little bit more behind your head. And if you can do that, you can bend over a little bit and see if you can rest your biceps on the back of your head and then relax your back. Okay, we have, let's see, Yuriko coming up on 100 meters. Looking good and fresh. We're still going. Very nice. June, in the beginning, yes, it definitely takes a lot of practice and a lot of stretching and a lot of time to get to this point. But again, with enough practice, you can get used to it. You may also find that you don't need to squeeze your arms, and actually the position after a while, after you have more flexibility in your shoulders, it gets easier to do. Thanks, guys. I'm doing my best. Hopefully you're finding it interesting and entertaining, and maybe a little bit helpful. Agata is up. Lane B, looking good. She's okay. Mito is up at 175. Giving strong recovery breaths. Yuriko also up. Adam is up at 200 meters. Still breathing, still recovering. Sunshine Sister asks, I mentioned the IOC. Will freediving become an Olympic sport? I would love it to become an Olympic sport. And I think one day we will get there. The sport is definitely growing. It is definitely growing in popularity. The ability to stream these events, not only for pool, with underwater cameras and all of that, is getting better, but also depth with the DYN drone. So we can actually follow the action, and it's actually becoming a spectator sport that people can watch at home, follow. And I think it's something that should be represented at the Olympics. I don't know when it will be represented, but I hope soon. And part of that is why organizations like AIDA are following the International Olympic Committee's rules, is because we need to show that that is what we are following in order to actually become a sport during the Olympics. Valentin, that is correct. Yeah, also stretching and reinforcing the muscle in the upper back and getting used to it, strengthening those shoulder muscles to hold that position.
Magdalena Solich of Poland. Lane C, Burgas, Lane D, Singapore. Lane E, Chinese Taipei. Lane F, Kozerska of Poland.
Guys, I am loving these questions. These are so good. I'm so excited. Okay, so from the last heat, we have the following results. Bartosz Lubecki, 172 meters, white card. Agata Vichin-Barel-Kauska, 128, white card. Miro Suampera, 147, white card. Yuriko Ichihara, 127, white card. Yanita Kulkula, 162, white card. Adam Zdarska, 200 meters, white card. Yes, Fiametta. There is a medal for total points across the entire competition, as well as for the best in each discipline for each gender. So if you look on the results on the website, you will also see, in addition to the distance the diver went, also a point allotment. All those points get added up at the end of the competition and are then used to actually figure out the final placement of all the athletes, where they rank among everybody else. Let's see, up next we have, in lane A, Min-Soo Jung of Korea. In lane B, we have Magdalena Solich-Talanda of Poland. There she is in the hot pink. In lane C, we have Jeanette Molnar, excuse me. All of Jeanette's gear has been lost at the airport, and so she is using borrowed gear. She's using my neck weight, she's using Lee's wetsuit, and Mai's fin.
2 minutes to official time.
In lane D, we have Ellis Lai Siu of Singapore, who currently holds the national record for dynamic at 189 meters. In lane E, we have Qilin Yi of Chinese Taipei. And in lane F, we have Marta Kolasinska of Poland with a PB of 150. Mandy James Lilly asks, what are the barriers to freediving at the Olympics? That is a very complicated question to answer. And I actually don't think I have the time to fully answer it and do that question justice. So instead, I'll write a post about it on my Instagram account. You can follow me at Brendan Freediving on Instagram. Make sure you're following AIDA on Instagram and on Facebook, and all of our athletes as well. Go ahead and check them out. Give them a follow. Give them a like. A lot of them are posting awesome stuff. They're also doing courses here and there, retreats, workshops. Give them a follow. See what they're up to. Really helps them out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official time. Jaws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Richard, you asked about Klaus Kasten's red card. His airways dip below the surface. He does have the opportunity to challenge that result. He can do that later on this evening, but he'll take a look at the video first and see if it's worth it to do. T1 asks, really random question, maybe totally useless, but do you think the depths at which a diver has, or at which a diver dives, has an impact on their dive? I do, especially in terms of a pool like this, where in the deep end we are at around 2.8 meters, and then in the shallow end there's an actual gradual incline from 25 meters to 15 meters, and then we go up to roughly 2 meters, or like 1.8 meters. And so for a diver that goes along the bottom of the pool more, they have to be working on their weighting because that will change as they go up and down the pool. In a discipline like dynamic, it's not as big of an issue because divers are using a lot of propulsion to move themselves through the water. Whereas in a discipline like dynamic no fins, I think the distance or the depth at which a diver swims is much more impacted. And obviously we know that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And so theoretically, if you are following the bottom of the pool completely the entire way, you are adding a little bit more distance onto your dive. But we're getting very nitpicky at that point. Magdalena is up at 100 meters. Okay. Divers are still going strong, reaching 150. Minsu is up. Looking a little bit shaky there. But doing okay. Oh, there we have Marta being supported. We have Chithlin doing okay. Oh, sorry, there we go. That's Chilin. We saw Ellis before. Jeanette is also up. Looking nice and fresh at around 150. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, so let's see. As results come in, we can take a look and see what we have going on.
Next start, lane A, Sukyong Korea. Lane B, Margot Serbia. Lane C, Roman Israel. Lane D, Kateryna Korea. Lane E, Finland. Lane F, Japan.
Okay. So up next in Group 10, after which we will take another brief break. We have in Lane A, Sukyoung Lee of Korea has a personal best of 150 and has been focusing quite a bit on the mental aspects of her training. Ooh, that's something I can talk about, is lubing up of the feet. We'll talk about that in a moment. Lane B, we have Marko Radovic of Serbia. In Lane C, we have Roman Kormov of Israel. A nice Salvamar wetsuit. In Lane D, we have Hakyoung Kim, who is the current national record holder for Korea. Whoop. Lane D, there we go. Current national record holder for Korea, set at 200 meters during the UDF freediving competition 13 days ago. In lane E, we have Tommi Passanen of Finland, who has a personal best of 200 meters. He placed second in dynamic during the Finnish Super Open in 2022, and is one of the instructors at the Freediving Fishermen and Friends Limited freediving school, so go check them out if you're ever in Muram, Finland. And then finally, in lane E, we have Madoka Ukiyoama of Japan with a PB of 159 meters. Sunshine Sister, yes, the protocols are different between the two. In AIDA, a diver needs to come up, remove all facial equipment, give an OK sign, and then say, "I am OK." So there are three big components. From the previous group, we have the following results. 5, 6. Minsu Jung, 147 meters, white card. Magdalena Solich-Talanda, 100 meters, white card. Janet Molnar, 151 meters, white card. Ellis Lai, 181 meters, white card. Chen Lin Ye, 167 meters, white card. And Marta Kolasniak, Kolasinska. There we go. I got there. 150 meters, unfortunately red card due to airways dipping below the surface.
1 minute.
Okay, very nice.
30 seconds.
We see one of our assistants recording the dive. Each dive is recorded by the judges. That footage is used to review anything to make sure, to check in case of any kind of dispute on the dive itself.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
During the challenge process, divers are allowed to bring in other video footage. So you'll often see other people walking back behind the judges also recording. This just gives another angle, another opportunity in case a diver moves out of the way of the camera that is recording them for whatever reason. There is more video footage to help support them in a challenge case. That's 50 meters. So we saw that Sukyoung Lee was rubbing something on her feet before she put her monofin on. A lot of freedivers use something called a competition fit for their foot pockets. Competition fit are really the tightest thing you will ever put on your foot. It is incredibly tight to the point where you actually need to lubricate your feet to even get them into the fin. Now, a diver will do that and will prefer a competition fit for competitions because the tighter the fit is, the more power that can actually be transferred from the legs to the fin. If there's a lot of movement in the... Marco is up. If there's a lot of movement in the foot pocket, what can actually happen is that movement isn't actually getting transferred to the fin. It's just getting transferred to that foot pocket. Whoop. Roman is up, but being supported by the safeties. Supporting him, blowing across his face. He's breathing. Okay. Okay, divers are continuing to pop up. Tommy is up at around 190. Haekyeong Kim hitting 200 meters, doing a turn. And still going. So if he comes up, he's coming up now. As long as this is a white card, this will be a new national record for Korea. Looking good. Yeah, looking very nice. Nice and clean. So, unless we miss something wild, that should be a new national record for Korea. Very nice. So that looks to be around 200 and maybe 7 or 8 meters, give or take. David, yes. Yeah, I agree. There are definitely some issues that need to be ironed out before going to the Olympics, but yeah, I think for where the sport is at now, we are definitely getting to the point of needing to make some changes that will really impact the sport's ability to be fully spectator friendly and succeed at the Olympics. Okay, so we'll have some results come in. Okay, so the results are as follows. Thanks, Ulf. Okay, so the results from that last heat are as follows. Suk-young Lee, 150 meters, white card. Marko Radovic, 128, white card. Roman Kormov, 135 meters, red card due to surface. So LMC on the surface, airways dipping. Haekyeong Kim, 208 meters, white card, and a new national record for Korea. Tommy Passanen, 191 meters, unfortunately a red card due to surface protocol. And then Madoka did not start. Okay. Fantastic. I'm going to take a quick break. We are going to come back in 20 minutes, where we will start off with Amber Burke diving. Later on, we'll have Birgül Ergen of Turkey. We will have... looking at my notes here. We have Joseph Yue, who will be competing for Chinese Taipei coming up, and also Yulia Kozerska. Oh, and William Joy, Guillaume Bordila, and the current world record holder Magdalena Solich-Talanda coming up at the very end. So we'll see you all in roughly 20 minutes.
Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K.
the live stream guide. I'm looking for you. I just hear your voice. I don't know who are you. You are.
Oh, you're leaving now. Already. It's such a pleasure. Well done at this comp, by the way. It's done very well. Yeah, amazing. It's such a pleasure. We'll see you soon.
Next start. Lane A, Amber, Australia. Lane B, Carolina, Croatia. Lane C, Ivan Rodriguez, Spain. Lane D, Kateryna Sadurska of Ukraine. Lane E, Magdalena Solich-Talanda, Japan. Lane F, Kozerska, Japan.
Testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay, and we are back. Once more, we are at the 28th AIDA World Championship here in Burgas, Bulgaria. My name is Brandon Reed. I am a freediving instructor, a breath training coach, a visualization coach, and freediving event commentator. And I'm here to walk us through the final, I believe, 5 groups of the competition. In lane A, we have the one and only Amber Burke of Australia. Let's see, where am I looking here? Lane B, we have Marinac, there we go, of Croatia. Using a pair of bifins for this dynamic event. In lane C, we have we are waiting. In lane C, we have Ivan Rodriguez of Spain. In lane D, we have Kateryna Sadurska of Ukraine, who is the current national record holder for Ukraine with 176 meters. Okay, there we go. So we have Györ there with Ivan to the left of him. She wants to thank her sponsor Triton for all of their support, her family, and is sending her thoughts out to all of Ukraine. In lane E, I'll wait for the camera to catch up.
1 minute 30 seconds.
Well, in lane E, the second to last lane from the top, we have, there we go, Natsumi Mitsuono of Japan. She was a safety at the AIDA Depth World Championship in Limassol last year. And she always has the most amazing painted nails. We often compare our toenails, and without a doubt, she always wins. And finally, we have Kyosuke Abe of Japan in lane F. Again, as a reminder, the world records are set by Magdalena of Poland at 300 meters and Magdalena Solich-Talanda of Poland at 277 meters. Here we see Kateryna.
Official top, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And we begin. As things currently stand, with the numbers that we have so far, we have in third place for men, Ibrahim Al-Salatni with 225 meters, Karol Karch, 245 meters in silver, and at 246 meters, Thomas Johnson in first place. And for women, Sayaki Oi, 184 meters for third, 187 meters, Evalina Ovesinskacie in second, and in first place, Mai Morimura at 200 meters. We're approaching 100 meters now. See beautiful technique from all of our divers. Okay. So Gyor is up. Natsumi also up. Natsumi at 150, Gyor around 125. Ivan also up, I believe around 140, perhaps? Koyusuke is up. Very nice. 200 meters. We're coming up on... Ooh, Amber is up and being supported by the safety team. Let's see, we still have... Kateryna is up at roughly 245 meters. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Okay. Let's see what Sasha, main judge, gives. Oh, unfortunately a red card. Kateryna did get a red card initially yesterday as well, but challenged and overturned it to a white card. I suspect she will challenge once again. Amber is up, walking around, okay. After a brief hypoxic event. Back to good.
The next start.
Again, it's important to note that these results are unofficial until they are reviewed by the safeties, or by the judges. We are just getting preliminary results. The final results are released later on in the evening after the athletes have been able to present any challenges to what they believe the results are. Okay. Alicia, there are two people using bifins because they are allowed to. Dynamic only means you are swimming underwater. You can use a monofin if you want to. You can use a bifins if you want to. Most people will opt for a monofin because you can generate a bit more power out of a monofin than you can with bifins. But as I said before, some people don't have a monofin. Some people haven't trained a lot with a monofin, so they prefer using bifins. It's completely up to them to decide what they want to do. So the results from that last group are as follows. Amber Burke, 211 meters, which would have been a national record. But unfortunately, there was a surface blackout and the airways did dip, so that is a red card. Gyur Marinac, 125 meters, white card. Ivan Rodriguez, 135 meters, white card. Kateryna Sadurska, 244 meters, which would be a big improvement on the national record she currently holds. As it stands now, it is disqualification due to surface protocol. So I imagine she will be challenging that. Natsumi Mitsuono, 150 meters, white card, and Kyosuke Abe, 200 meters, white card. Very nicely done to all of these athletes.
Two minutes to official top.
2 minutes to official top. In the next group, we have Michal Bornczek of Poland, whose personal best is 250 meters. So we may see some movement in the top three for men within Michal. Lane B, we are looking at Birgül Erken of Turkey. There she is. I primarily know her as a depth diver. We met in Turkey last year. Lane C, we have Noriyuki Yabe of Japan. There he is. In lane D, we have Ji-hee Yoon of Korea. Lane E, we have Marianne Niolhiane of France. And finally, we have Nacho Peral Villar of Spain in lane lane F, excuse me, with a personal best of 214.
30 seconds. 20. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Official stop. Jaws 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And we are off. So if we can, let's spend some time underwater watching these athletes. We can see really nice technique here from Nacho. Arms, again, as we were talking about earlier, nice and tucked behind the ears, looking nice and relaxed. We can see in some of these dives that they are tilted up slightly. That is because there is an incline in this pool. We go from 2.8 meters in the deep end to 1.8 meters in the shallow end. And so divers do need to sort of move up and down if they do travel along the bottom of the pool. Very nice glide there. I believe that was either Nacho or Michal. Beautiful coming and touching the wall at 100 meters. Whoa. That line along the bottom is the 25-meter point. It's 150 meters. Okay, we have Noriyuki up at 150. He's okay. We also have Bugle up at around 160. Marian is up. Jihi also up, smiling big at around 175. Nacho passing 200 meters. We also have Michal crossing 225. Nacho as well, passing 225. Nacho coming up at around 230, looking good. Michal also up at around 230. Okay, all divers are up. Looking like all divers are good. I believe all white cards. We're still waiting on Nacho's results. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Unfortunately, a red card for Nacho. We'll find out in a moment why. But an absolutely beefy dive from Nacho. If he can overturn the result of the red card and make sure that it is white, that will be a new national record for Spain. Currently, the record is set at 203 meters by Alex Segura Vendrell. But we shall see. Mariana, that's some good feedback. Something that I know AIDA is watching the comments as well, and so I'll make sure that they do see that comment. As always, we're trying to improve, and so suggestions are welcome. Okay. So it looks like Nacho's disqualification was due to surface protocol. We're waiting on the other results now. As we wait, we can go over the next group of athletes. In lane A, we have Joseph Xu of Chinese Taipei. He currently holds the record for dynamic at 245 meters, which is big and beefy. In lane B, we have Miroslav Minchev of Bulgaria. Lane C, we have Shinya Oi of Japan, who is the Japanese coach to many of the athletes from Japan here. In lane D, we have Ossi Peltola of Finland. Personal best is 216 meters. Looking at lane E now, David Spritz Ellings of Sweden. And then in lane F, we have Youngju Lee of Korea with a personal best of 179 meters. Okay, the results from the last group are as follows. Michal Bochenek, 229 meters, white card. Bidugul Erkin, 161 meters, red card due to airways dipping. Nodioke Yabe, 150 meters, white card. Jihi Yoon, 76, white card. Marion Niolhuane, 184 meters, white card. And Nacho Peral Villar, 231 meters, red card due to surface protocol. We do have some new movement in the top three as it currently stands with the unofficial results. Now in third place we have Michal Bornchek Borchenek, 229 meters in bronze. Silver, Carol Karch, 245. And Thomas Johnson, 246 in gold. For women, we now have a tie for third with Marianne Nguyen and Sayaka Oy at 184 meters. Silver, we have Evelina Novasinskaitė of Lithuania at 187, and Mai Morimura at 200 meters for gold.
2, 1. Official top, class 1, 2.
Again, all unofficial, pending results, pending challenges.
7, 8.
But in this exact moment, that's where things stand. You see a beautiful technique there from Youngju. Again, we're looking for really nice streamlined position, nice straight line from the tip of the fingers down to the tip of the tail while gliding, and then movement beginning in the abdominals, rolling down the legs, over the thighs, into the calves, into the ankles, flicking at the toes. Except for Miroslav, who's doing bifins. And that, we still want to see that nice streamlined position, but we also want to be seeing preferably smaller kicks where we are staying within that water vortex around our bodies. With bifins, we want to be moving starting at the hips and the legs, not at the abdominals. Okay. We have Joseph coming up on 150 meters. There he is. Joseph is one of our faster divers. He's been working a lot with William Joy in Shanghai. William has been working on a different style of training where he prioritizes power and strength over the relaxation and all of that. Okay, Miroslav is up, looking good. That's around 155 meters. Joseph's hitting 200 meters now. Off the wall in a turn. Youngju is up at around 170. Joseph coming. We have a wall touch from Joseph at 250 meters. Still going. Other divers getting close to 200 meters now. Joseph is up at around 260 meters. David keeping it together, staying above the water. We have Shinya still going. Passing 225 now. Joseph, I believe, getting a white card, so that puts his new national record at around 260. Shinya looking good, looking strong, at around 240. Yeah? Beautiful. Yeah, I think... Yes. And a white card for Shinya as well. Beautiful dives coming out of this heat. You love to see it. Celebration, the cheering. It's important to note that these divers make this look incredibly easy. It's not easy. Being able to relax and still generate that kind of power is not easy. Erki, it's actually difficult to show the leader because this is not a speed discipline. This is a distance discipline, and so the leader is not determined until the very end. So we're doing our best to show a good mix of the action, showing who's in front with speed-wise, but also showing good technique, good discipline, mental relaxation. We're trying to give you guys a good mix of everything. Okay, so the results from that last heat are coming in. We're just waiting on Joseph's result now. Okay. So, first quickly let's go over who's in lane A. We have Hinate Penia of France getting ready. Looking nice and relaxed. In lane B, we have Yasuko Ozeki of Japan. Started freediving about 6 years ago, and I met her in Cyprus last year at the Depth Comp. Lovely human being. Lane C, we have Iñaki Santos of Spain. Wants to send all the love that he can, and thanks to the Panglao freediving community for all of their support. We have Evan Walter of the US in lane D. He's the current national record holder in dynamic bifins at 175 meters. Smiling for the camera. We have David Kustic of Croatia in lane E. And then finally, we have Julia Kozerska of Poland in lane F. There she is getting ready. Minutes to official top. This is the second to last heat. We have one more heat after this, which will be Guillaume Bordia, Clement Lesafre, Magdalena Solich-Talanda, the current world record holder, and William Joy. Something that I did want to mention that I found out just the other day about Evan is that aside from being a national record holder in freediving, he also finished top 8 in the first Pokemon Go competition that ever took place in Dortmund, Germany in 2019. Apparently, the guy that he lost to ended up going to take first place, or taking second place, and the guy who took first place had a team of Pokemon that was not well equipped to handle Evan's. So theoretically, Evan could have been the first Pokemon Go World champion as well. So I thought that was just a fun and interesting story about the lives of our freedivers outside of the pool. As we're getting ready, just want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors, the Burgas Municipality, Double K, Octopus, B-Water Monofins, Acer, Sunto, Dive Tech, and Molchanovs. Support, incredibly helpful. Makes this event run more smoothly, more effectively. We really appreciate everything. Please do feel free to show your support in the chat.
3, 2, 1.
Spam the flags.
3, 4.
We love to see it.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Results from the last group are as follows. We have Joseph Shu, 259 meters, white card. We have Miroslav Minchev, 156, white card. Shinya Oi, 238, white card. Osi Peltola did not start. And we have David Spritz-Ellings, 192, white card, and Youngju Lee, 168, white card. Okay. You see the bifins of one of our photographers for the event. We also see, I believe that is Iñaki using bifins for this discipline. We have Yasuko coming off the wall for 100 meters. Hinate is coming up on 100 meters now. Yasuko at 150. If we can spend a bit more time underwater with the cameras, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Again, we're looking at small kicks from Iñaki there. Yasuko coming up on 200 meters. Current national record for women. Set at 216 meters by Hanako Hirose. So you may see a new national record. Evan is up. Looking okay. Yasuko is up at around 115. It will be very close. Iñaki also up now at around 115. We still have David Kustic going, hitting the 250 meter mark now, giving a turn. Hinate coming up on 200 meters. David Kustic is up at around 260. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. There we go. Hinate coming up nice and strong at around 210. Looking nice and fresh. And Yulia also still going. Doing a few kicks and then an arm pull. partially due to the fact that her legs are super full of lactic acid at the moment. And so switching over to using her arms, there's a little bit more gas there. They're not as sore or as stressed out. And so we'll see her continue to go. Coming up on the roughly 240 meter mark. Okay, we have a wall turn. Again, the current national record and current world record is set at 277 by Magdalena Solich-Talanda. Okay, Yulia is up at around 260, which looking good and fresh. Okay. I'm just waiting for the results. Waiting for the judge's card for Yulia. We're waiting. Still waiting. I believe a white card. We will see what the results tell us. Tomorrow you are allowed to do arm strokes in dynamic. Yes, yes, yes. Obviously, if you do a lot of arm strokes, you then have to reload the arms, moving them back to the front of the body, and that does create drag. So it's not necessarily optimal to have that as your technique the entire way through a dive. But at the end, especially after a 200-plus meter dive, when your legs are completely gassed, they're full of lactic acid, and they feel like they're stiff and you cannot move them at all. Switching to your arms to get that final sort of rest of the way can be something that a diver will want to do. Okay, so we have Hinate, 209 meters, white card. We have Yasuko Ozeki, 214 meters, white card. Iñaki Santos, 209 meters, white card. Evan Walter, 185 meters, white card, which I believe is a new... current U.S. record is set at 208 meters. David Kustich, 258 meters, white card. Yulia Kozerska, 260 meters, yellow card, other. So I don't know why, but the judges will review that number, or what that reason is, and final results will be posted later. So give me a second. There's been some movement in the in the rankings, so let me quickly look at my notes.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Yes, Iñaki just set a new national record at 209 meters, the previous one being set at 203. This is the dynamic discipline, John, so bifins is not the same thing.
One minute.
Let's see.
30 seconds.
Yes, John, it's absolutely impressive for sure. Okay, in this final heat, we have Guillaume Bourdila in lane A, Clement Lessafre of France, lane B, Magdalena Solich-Talanda, current world record holder, in lane C of Poland, and William Joy of China, current national record holder for China, set at 296 meters in lane D. Okay. Big power coming out of William there. John, it will still show that she did a 260-meter dive, although it will be a yellow card. So some penalties will be applied to the overall points that she receives. Okay, divers are heading back, crossing 75 meters over towards 100. Guillaume and Clement passing 100 meters. William coming upon 150. Magdalena crossing 125. Erki, yes, that's a good point. And to be totally honest with you, I don't know the answer. We'll have to wait and see what happens after the final results are reviewed by the judges and athletes have a chance to protest. You see William with really strong kicks and then glides. I believe that's William. Okay, William crossing the 200-meter mark. Guillaume also reaching 200, followed by Clement. Clément. I need to work on my French pronunciation. Magdalena coming up to 200 meters now. William crossing 250. Clement is up at 225. Guillaume reaching 250. William up at around 258, 57. Guillaume Bourdila of France still going. Crossing 275, speeding up. Definitely feeling that lactic acid, giving an arm pull. Touching the wall at 300 meters. And coming up at 301. Removing nose clip goggles. Clean protocol. Magdalena also up at around 230. No, sorry, probably around 240. As you can hear, that sounds an awful lot like a new world record of 300 and probably 1 meters, set by Guillaume Bourdila of France. Also a new national record for France as well. Magdalena also celebrating. Offhand, I don't know. This may also be a new world record for her as well. Ooh, maybe not. We'll have to see the final results. Wow, absolutely massive dives. Okay. So we have, for sure, William Joy at 257 meters. We have Magdalena Solich-Talanda at 265 meters, white card. We have 301 meters by Guillaume. Which means, let's see, we're also waiting on Clement. Okay, still waiting there. So for men, we have 301 Guillaume Bourdila for gold. For silver, we have Joseph Yue, Chinese Taipei, 259. And in third place, David Kustic of Croatia, yes, at 258. And then for women, Magdalena Solich-Talanda, 265. Yulia, as it stands, second place, 260 for distance. Still pending some questions on my end about the yellow card, and this will also potentially change with the results of protests and all of that. Let me quickly review my notes one more time just so I don't get this wrong. Yes, so Magdalena first, Yulia second, and Yasuko in third with 214 meters. Again, please make sure you're checking the website, AIDAinternational.org, for all the results, not only for this competition, but for each discipline. The final results are being tabulated as well. You can actually go to the website as well and look at the intermediate rankings based on the points so far. And looking at that, that is overall. Okay, apply. The AIDA website is great for looking at records. 10 out of 10. Okay, all right. So, as things currently stand, we have Karol Karcz of Poland in first place for men with 426.6 points. Second place, we have William Joy of China with 419.9 points. And in third place, we have Joseph Xu of Chinese Taipei with 406 points. So currently that's the standings for the men. And for women, we have as follows. Yes, Lily, that is a great point, pointing out that athletes have already done 3 other days, on top of some of them coming from another competition. Absolutely incredible performances by all athletes. For the women, we have in third place, Paula Johnson of Sweden at third place with 313.6 points. Julia Kozerska of Poland, 321.7 points. and Magdalena Solich-Talanda of Poland, 340.5 points. Huge, huge, huge performances here. There we see Guillaume with a new world record. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely beautiful and amazing. And that is it for us here in Burgas, Bulgaria. Please do make sure you are checking out all of our sponsors: Burgas Municipality, Double K, Octopus, Be Water, Monofins, Acer, Sunto, Dive Tech, and Molchanovs. We really appreciate all their support. They've helped make this event absolutely possible. I want to thank our event organizers, all of our judges, our huge, amazing safety team there in the water, taking an underwater photo. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys will be seeing me next time at the AIDA Depth World Championships in Roatan. Please check out the AIDA website for that and for those dates. I've been Brandon Reed. I'm a freediving instructor, breath training coach. You can follow me at Brandon Freediver on Instagram. And we'll see you at the next event. Bye, guys.
Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K.